What is going on, guys? It's your boy 11 back at it again for episode 5 of the Quarantine Cast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again to your favorite podcast, hopefully one of your favorites at least. But today we're gonna mix it up a little bit while we work out the kinks of trying to find guests, YouTubers to interview and make connections with. I wanted to get you guys a little bit involved in this. You know, I have talked about some stories in the past that are important to me, things that I just want to say on a podcast format, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna reach out to the community and let them get the chance to ask the questions that maybe they've been wondering they don't really ask on the stream and they want to be included in the video. So that's what today's podcast is about. And you know, you're probably thinking, what's the difference between this and maybe like a regular podcast and a regular Q&A? And to me, I think doing it this way, I could go into depth, maybe say a little bit of a backstory without having to really worry about keeping it bite-sized and just keeping it like short. This is a podcast after all, so if it runs to an hour, it is what it is. It's a podcast. Usually podcasts go on forever, but we're not going to try to keep it to forever, but we're going to keep it a good length. So without further ado, we're going to get We're going to start it off right with the first person, and that person is none other than Squid Gamer, Discord and YouTube mod himself. And the first question he asks is, what content are you planning on doing in 2022? And let me be brutally honest with you, my boy. I don't really think that far ahead. And you might be thinking, like, why not? Like, don't you want to have stuff planned out? And to me, it's more about like, okay, what do I want to do tomorrow? What do I want to do this week? Like, what do I have planned for this month? Thinking all the way into 2022 is kind of crazy for me. And considering the fact that I don't know what the world is going to look like in 2022, even if I had some ideas, I don't know if I'm going to be stuck inside still, or if I'm going to be able to even do the content that I even want to do, right? Because in my mind, I'm like, it'd be really cool to go out and maybe like film a Pokemon Go video, maybe make some skits here and there, just outside without having to be constrained to being indoors. But I feel like if I planned out stuff, I don't want to get myself be disappointed if for whatever reason the world doesn't get their shit together and doesn't get their vaccine, or it just goes to shit again and we're stuck in quarantine forever. But yeah, like, I really don't have any plans for 2022 just yet. I just want to keep on producing content that I really want to do, such as, you know, keep on doing the Quarantine Cast with guests. Hopefully the rest of the year, some of the podcasts are with guests, smaller YouTubers, people who are down to join in on the podcast, to let you guys know who they are, get to know them a little bit more, and also just keep up with the streams, keep up with the production of the streams, making sure that everything's good, high quality. You know, we have segments planned here and there instead of just playing games, and also just producing more content regularly, like actual videos. I really am a big fan of producing videos. You know, I've done Amori and just keeping up with those sorts of things, keeping up with series that I might not give enough love to. And one of the things that I actually really do want to do is make like sort of like creepypasta narration videos where I maybe highlight creepypastas that I grew up with, because growing up, I was actually like really into creepypastas, video game creepypastas, to be more specific. And I don't know why they do creep me out, and they were things that would kind of like haunt me. But it's just one of those things where I was still really into, considering that it's gaming. You know, imagine like a cursed Nintendo 64 cartridge or just some bullshit like that, right? It might sound silly, but it's something that I'm really interested in, and something that I have been thinking about doing. So maybe we'll do that, but just producing more content, more professional looking content, and just, you know, delving deep into that. But moving right along to Squid's next question, he asks, can you play Roblox at 500? I want to see you play it, and so do others. Now, this is an ongoing meme that is on my channel and the community, is that I'm never going to play Roblox unless somebody donates a crazy amount of money or we reached 1,000 subs. But since then, I've lowered it down to just 500 subs. We're going to keep it to 500. I don't want anything to do with that. And, you know, we're going to keep it at that. If anybody is generous enough to donate, I said $50, then we could do that, right? And any donations that come in are always going to go back to streams and shit. But yeah, the goal for right now is if we get to 500 subs, I will for sure force myself to play Roblox. And I know that Roblox is not just one game, it's like many games into one. I know it's like the game Dreams, where like you could literally make any type of game that you want in Roblox, and there's like so much shit that you can do in Roblox. But I want to hold off. I want to stay true to my word. I don't want to like just give in and not do it when I said I was gonna do it. But yes, we're gonna play it at 500, I promise you. Thank you so much, Squid, for asking those hard-hitting questions. But yes, moving right along, we do have Matt's, and the first question that he asks is weed good? Well, let me be brutally honest, man. Ever since I posted my last video, not the last video, but one of the videos that I posted recently where I talked about, you know, just holding myself accountable and just making sure that what I'm saying and what I do on my channel is not really something that's gonna, you know, be having a negative impact on anybody. So I'm not gonna really answer that. Even if I know it's a meme question, but you don't need to be learning about that sort of shit from me, of all people, 11, you know, a YouTuber or a streamer, whatever you want to call me nowadays. It's crazy to even have that title next to my name, but yes, I guess I'll consider myself a streamer more than a YouTuber because I do stream more than I do YouTube. But yeah, I'm not gonna answer that, but I'll answer your next question, which is, do you like Never Gonna Give You Up as a song? And just as a song, not as a meme. Yes, Rickrolling is so, I think Rickrolling nowadays is a little bit cringe, to be completely honest. I don't really think it's funny. I just think it's like a dead meme at this point. Like if you're still Rickrolling people in 2021, it's like, okay, wow, yeah, you got me, good shit, you know, I'm gullible, whatever. But dude, it's like, if you go into Rick Astley's, which is the artist that some people forget that Rick Astley is the one who made Never Gonna Give You Up, go into his discography, and he actually has some fucking bangers, dude. Never Gonna Give You Up is just like a small bite size of what he actually has came out with, and he has some fucking bangers, dude. He has some bangers, and it's a shame that that's all he really is known for, as like somebody who is a meme or whatever. But like, he has some fucking bangers, bro. Go check him out if you only know Never Gonna Give You Up. So thank you for that, Matt. Appreciate you, my dude. But moving right along, we have Toby. And Toby asks some hard-hitting questions. The first one is, are you proud of me? And abso-fucking-lutely. If you guys don't know, my channel icon, and if you go look at my YouTube banner, it's a bunch of like, you might think like, who is this waifu that you always promote? Who is this waifu you always have on your YouTube banner and the YouTube icon? And that's actually my OC, and her name is just 11chan. Their name is just 11chan. It's super creative, I know, right? I need to think of a name, so if you guys have any suggestions for that, let me know. But yeah, for as it stands right now, it's just 11chan. But I actually created it because I really wanted a original character for my streams and for my just as kind of like my identity, I guess. Even though I'm a dude with like kind of like a deep voice, I know it doesn't really make sense, but you know, I'm about that life. So yeah, and when Toby came through to the streams and to the community, they were really willing to just make art for the channel, right? Make fan art, and he has been continuing to do that, and he just produces some really high quality art, and I'm forever grateful. If you go look at my YouTube banner, it's like mainly all of Toby's art, like all of it except for a couple of the OC designs are all Toby, right? And I always tell Toby, like, dude, like my OC is just as much mine as it is yours. Just as much as it is mine, it's yours, because you have brought the OC to life. You have like just done it in so many different art styles and just different outfits and just creative ways that I just like it'll be a disservice to say that it's just my character. Like, it's everybody's character, right? But you have brought the character to life. You have like put it in so many different ways that I fucking absolutely love it. So yes, I'm absolutely proud of you, not just because of that, but because your art has evolved so much in the past couple of months. And your animations too, like the quality of content that you produce is awesome. I feel like if you had like the proper tools, like really any other tools that will help you produce more content, you would be fucking absolutely killing the fucking game. I have no doubt about it. So I'm absolutely proud of you. And the next question that Toby asks is, will you adopt me? And this has been like a question that has kind of like stemmed from the fact that some people actually have come up to me or messaged me and told me like, hey, like, you know, every single piece of advice, I take it to heart, and it really means a lot, and I kind of honestly look up to you as like a father figure. And at first, honestly, I will be completely honest, I didn't really know how to react to that, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a little bit weird. But the more that I think about it, it just like, I thought about it more deeply, and I'm like, you know what, like, and that's part of the reason why I'm more careful, and I want to be more careful, like the things that I say, and maybe I don't want to be too controversial. And that's because, like, regardless of what I want to do, or regardless of what I think about myself or not, people kind of do look up to, you know, the people that they watch on YouTube and stuff. So that's why I want to be careful with the things that I say and the things that I do here on the platform, and make sure that if I am going to do something, that it's for the positive, right? It's not because of it's negative, or if I'm going to do something, it's because I'm passionate about it, right? It's because something it's legitimately bothering me and I want to address it, right? So will you adopt me? Absolutely, I guess. It's more of like, I'm just proud, you know. I feel like a proud father, and it's because like you guys have shown me like so much like of your artistic side. You guys have like shown me that you're passionate about music, about video games, and about certain things, and I just want to promote that, right? I want you guys to be feeling like, hey, like I could actually be, I want to be myself, and I want to like this, but certain people don't think it's okay. So I want to promote the fact that it's okay to like what you want to like. It's okay to dress the way that you want to dress, right? There's absolutely there's nothing wrong with that, right? And if somebody is taking the time out of their day to try to tell you that you're wrong for dressing a certain way, or drawing, or you're completely shitting on you for absolutely no reason, I'm there. I want to be there to tell them, fuck you, dude. You don't know shit about this person. You don't know anything about them. So like, what makes you want to come up, like the fucking balls that it takes to just fucking go up to somebody and just be an absolute fucking asshole, to just shit on their fucking parade for no absolute goddamn reason. I don't know, it takes the gall on some people, right? But yes, I'm fucking proud of all of you guys, and we're all a big fucking family, like I always say, the 11 house family. But thank you so much, Toby, for those amazing questions. It really does mean a lot, man. Like the reason why I wanted to ask you guys a lot of these questions, or you guys ask me questions, is because I wanted to get you guys more involved. But yeah, and moving right along, we have Sharky, Red Shark, Kayla Gamer, whatever you want to call him. He goes by many names, the man of many names, but his name, I call him Sharky. But he asks, will you ever remember us? Will you remember us when you get many subs? And that's a question that I get from time to time, and I really hope that you guys don't think that I am just gonna forget about you guys if the channel does end up blowing up or whatever, or as the channel grows, because you guys are the fucking reason why I'm even doing this shit in the first place. I've only been doing this for a couple months, and the amount of love that I have been receiving or have received is just unprecedented and uncalled for, and I never expected to be greeted with such open arms. And for me to just betray you guys, and for me to just turn my back on you guys like that, and just forget where, you know, how I even got to where I am in the first place, is not something that I know that I will be capable of, right? I take my friendships very, very fucking seriously, and I don't just forget stuff like that, right? I legitimately feel bad when like somebody gives me something, and I feel obligated to give them something in return, not because they're asking me, not because they're like telling me, hey, you better get me back. Like, I feel obligated, you know, even if it's like for a piece of advice, even if it's for guidance or something like that. I feel like I need to do something for that person. So I could never imagine myself turning my back on a community that has been so fucking amazing to me and just has helped me through it all. Like, I know that I don't really talk about it a lot. I'm the type of person that kind of bottles a lot of my feelings up, and I don't really open up too much, besides to maybe my best friends and to just maybe my wife and stuff like that. Just my really inner circle that I have in person, that I could always go to. But you guys have helped me in so many fucking ways that you guys would probably never know, but because I don't want to show that side of me. I don't want to put that side out of me, but maybe sometimes I do or whatever. But it's just something that you guys you guys help me a lot, and I'm gonna just keep it at that, you know. And Sharky also asks, will you ever unadd me on Discord? Absolutely not, man. You're the fucking boy, you're the Pikachu, man, you're a fucking homie. For me to unadd you on Discord would be so fucking ridiculous, unless, you know, you do something crazy or whatever. But like, nah, I don't think I will ever see myself unadding you on Discord, man, so you don't have anything to worry about when it comes to that. Moving along, we have the memester, the Tower King, the Minecraft Tower aficionado here, Byron, and he asks, where is Melee? Now, the reason why Byron asked this is because I recently streamed Melee, and for whatever reason, I guess he was stuck in traffic or whatever, he missed out on the part where I streamed Melee, and when he came to the stream, I was already moving on to the next game, because if you're not familiar with my channel, when I stream, I usually tend to highlight one game, you know, that's probably the thumbnail. Whatever's in the thumbnail is probably the main game, the game that I play for the first half of the stream, and then whatever comes next is just the like the bonus, I guess, right? But the first game that I played on that particular stream was Melee, and I guess Byron was either looking forward to it or he just wanted me to see me play it, and he missed out. And you know, it's the meme, right? And he keeps asking me, where's Melee, where's Melee? But the deal that I made with him is that anytime that he asks me where's Melee is another day that I'm not gonna stream Melee. And I know that might seem bogus and might seem like crazy, but it's just like the meme, you know. And honestly, to be honest with you, I've been playing Melee here and there, just playing a couple matches on my off time, on my downtime, whenever, you know, I'm waiting on something for work or I'm off work and I'm just vibing on my own and I just want to play some Melee. And so I get my fix of Melee every once in a while, so I have like no real inclination to stream it. The only real reason that I wanted to stream it is because like I said, I've been enjoying the hell out of Melee, revisiting Melee, and it's just something that like brings me back to my childhood, man, because I used to play the fuck out of Melee on the GameCube, and it was just I honestly don't understand how I was good at it, and I don't know which character I was good at. I don't really remember, but I find it crazy that I was actually good at it, you know, playing it. And now it's like I look back at it, I'm playing it right now, and it's like super fucking hard compared to Ultimate. It's like a very technical game, and it's just something that like I understand why it takes years for people to actually get good. You know, you have to have strong fundamentals, and you have to like adapt and just completely take advantage of like different glitches and mechanics. It's insane, the depth of Melee. And I know I can see now how it's like an incredibly intense competitive game. So where's Melee? I don't know, bro. When you stop asking, we'll figure it out. But moving right along, we have Sharky's brother, Duck Fishron, and he asks, can you just play Roblox on stream? And like I said, yes, I'll play it when we reach 500 subs. It's something that I'm, you know, whether I want to admit it or not, it's something that I look forward to, but I'm going to keep to that goal, that 500 sub goal. And the next question that he asked is, can you play Hypixel Skyblock on stream one day? And yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I'm definitely open to the fact of just playing different stuff relating to Minecraft. The reason why I haven't really been playing Minecraft as of late is because I just haven't been really too interested in it. I kind of was playing a lot of Minecraft on stream for a while there, and I just kind of got burnt out. And when I did decide to start the SMP, it just really didn't go how I envisioned it. In fact, it went even worse than I thought it was gonna go. So it just really added to that, me being burnt out on it. And nowadays, if I do end up playing Minecraft, it's just I just like to play and vibe. I don't really take it too seriously. I just like to go mining the way that I know how to mine. I like to adventure, finding villages or towns or whatever, and just find diamonds and all that bullshit, you know. I'm not a very serious or hardcore Minecraft player. I didn't grow up with Minecraft like I know a lot of my audience is. Like, bro, I'm like, this is insane how you guys know how to do all this intricate shit, and I just like to vibe, you know. I just like to vibe. But one of the things that I do like about Minecraft is, you know, the servers, and that's something that I do enjoy doing. Stuff like you know, Egg Wars and Bed Wars or whatever it's called. Hypixel Skyblock is something that I'm more than down to try out, so don't knock it, I guess, until you try it. Shipping Sans is the next person up to ask questions, and they ask, why can't you give us all mod? Now, I'm pretty sure that it's more of a meme question that he asks this, but I guess I want to address it because I have had people tell me, you know, we're all eventually going to be mods, and I don't really want anybody to think that I'm just going to give out mod to literally everybody. And that kind of stems from the tradition that I have. Whenever I gain another 100 subs, I like to name somebody mod, but I want to stop doing that when we hit 500 subs, simply because I don't want anybody to come through to my streams and the chat is flooded with everybody being a mod. You know, I don't want them to think like, holy shit, like what bad stuff goes down here that he needs this many mods, you know. So I don't really know, and especially in the Discord server is super chill. There's really not much that goes on besides people just talking to one another, linking up to play games with one another and stuff. But yeah, I don't really know if I'm gonna be naming every single person mod. Maybe down the line, if you know there is like an influx of people that come through and it gets a little bit troublesome, then yes, I will name more mods, I guess. But for now, we have a perfect amount, and I don't really see myself naming other mods. But another question that he asks is it illegal to ship? And what he means by that is ship. You know, shipping is when you take two characters from whatever it might be, either from movies or from fictional works of art, or just anime. I guess anime is the famous example, when you take two characters that aren't portrayed in a relationship in anime, but people take those characters and they put them into a relationship and try to figure out how that dynamic would work out, right? And I guess it's not illegal. I mean, obviously it's not illegal, but there needs to be a line that needs to be drawn, right? A line needs to be drawn where if a certain if a certain person doesn't want to be shipped, then they shouldn't, right? A person shipping should not make anybody uncomfortable, and if it is making somebody uncomfortable, maybe you should kind of like rethink about it, right? And sometimes I don't understand it, because you take two characters from, like, for example, an anime that don't make sense at all together, and people try to force it and make it work. It just doesn't really make sense, right? But what I'm more talking about is like when you take two IRL people, two people who are actually real, and you ship them and it makes them uncomfortable. That's when the line needs to be drawn, you know. And not everybody's a fan of shipping, right? Not everybody's a fan of shipping. I don't really necessarily. Sometimes I do imagine like, oh, how would the dynamic between these two characters work, right? But I'm not about it. I'm not really like, oh, I'm gonna ship the fuck out of these characters. Like when they take certain characters, you know, sometimes it does make sense, sometimes it doesn't. That's why it kind of is a little bit frustrating, because sometimes it just doesn't make sense whatsoever. But yeah, it's not illegal, but obviously there does need to be a line that is drawn so that nobody is uncomfortable with it, right? Because at the end of the day, if shipping is causing harm, then it's not really good, you know? And next up, we have Vaughn Villain, and he asks, how much anime does Byron watch? And if you don't know who Byron is the dude who asks, where's Melee? And another meme that we do have going on is, I guess Byron hates anime with a passion, and every single time that we talk to him, you know, we always like meme with him about anime or whatever, because he gets mad or whatever. But I don't know. And I guess something that I do want to say about that is, I don't really understand why people hate anime. Like, I just really don't, you know. I feel like a lot of people see the normal tropes of like, oh, the waifus and the big milkers or whatever. And just see like negative tropes about anime, and that's all they see, right? But nowadays, with the large influx of anime that there is out there, I'm pretty sure that there's at least one single anime out there for everybody, right? There's literally animes about literally anything, and I feel like a lot of people just see animation and they automatically dismiss it, which is kind of like a closed-minded way of thinking of things or seeing things, you know. And if you just don't like anime, fine, but don't knock it until you try it, I guess. And if you just are basing your opinion on one or a couple other things, and you don't really delve into trying to find something that, you know, fits it, then I don't know what to tell you, man. But I'm pretty sure if Byron really like looked for a certain amount of anime, if I asked him like, hey, like, what do you want, what do you look for when you watch a show, there's probably going to be an anime for him. But if he refuses to watch it, then I mean, I guess I can force him to do it. So, but the other question is, will you still remember us when you get more popular? And yes, I absolutely will. Like I said earlier, I'm not the type of person to just completely forget about people who help bring me up and just have given me so much love. And for me to turn my back on you guys would be completely insane, completely unfair, and just such a big betrayal that I don't think I would ever want to do that. I don't ever will do that. And next up, we have the memer, the legend, the lil homie, Ancient, legend among these parts, Ancient, and he asks, have you ever seen a naked dog? And I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, bro, like, aren't all dogs technically naked? I mean, unless they're not wearing a collar or whatever. I mean, more dogs don't wear sweaters than others, you know? I don't know. And technically, like, I guess I have both ways, right? Like, I guess, like, some people get used to, like, some dogs wearing collars, and when they don't have them, they're like, oh, they look so naked or whatever. Or unless you meant, like, a completely shaved dog, but I don't think that's what you mean. I guess I have seen a naked dog. I don't know how to address that. But his other question is, what is your favorite water slide? Now, this is a little bit of obscure lore, but I haven't really been to a lot of water parks growing up, just because I'm kind of like a bitch when it comes to heights. I kind of hate heights, but I have been to several water parks in my life. And one of them was Soak City, and the one that I remember specifically from that one is, like, you go down a slide and it's like a fucking big ass cone, and you go in circles on the cone, and it's just like completely fucking insane. And I remember being so fucking scared shitless. But one of the water slides that I actually really do like is the simple one. It's a really simple one. You go all the way up, and it's just very steep, and you go down, and it's fucking fast, and you go down, and that's pretty much it, right? It's not too fancy, it's just an adrenaline rush. But once you go down that, you could take on literally anything. And my biggest thing was, like, just going up on it and just going down the slide, like, countless times. I remember just doing that, and I like that, right? I remember also going to, and completely sidetracking from the water slide question, but the first time that I went to Universal Studios, there's a ride called The Mummy, and it's probably one of the fastest roller coasters that I've ever been on. It's not anything crazy. It's just like you go fast as fuck I think it's in a straight line. Maybe it takes some turns and some dips here and there, but it's nothing insane. It doesn't have any loops or anything, and it's in the dark, and it goes fast as fuck. And then when you reach the end of it, it goes almost the same speed but backwards. And that shit, like, I was nervous going into Universal Studios because I hate just roller coasters in general. But just going into that, I was ready for anything. I went into Jurassic Park. I went into every single other roller coaster there was, and it was just insanely hype. And it just takes that one roller coaster or water slide for me to be hyped about literally everything else. But thank you, Ancient, for those weird and obscure questions. I appreciate that you're always staying true to yourself and hitting me with those questions. But next up, we have the little bro, Pancakes, the legend too, Discord mod and YouTube mod himself, Pancakes, and he asks, why am I a mod? So yeah, like I said, Pancakes is a Discord mod and a YouTube mod. And bro, like I always tell you, you're an excellent person. You're amazing. We always share. We're always like sharing each other's like playlists, even if you do roast me here and there with the order and structure of how I make playlists. But yeah, you're a fucking great person, man. And I automatically picked up on that. And I thought you would be a really awesome person to add to the team. So yeah, that's probably why you're a mod, bro. And he also asks, are you a lesbian? And yeah, bro, I guess I am a lesbian. You know, I'm into girls. That's how I roll at. But I think we're all a little bit lesbian, bro. I think we're all a little bit lesbian. And I think I said this in a previous Q&A, but if we're not all just a little bit lesbian, a little bit gay, then are you really a homie? I don't know. You gotta guess each other up. You know what I'm saying? And next up, we have one question from Mokes, and they say, Genshin? And yeah, Genshin. I guess Genshin is actually pretty fun, and it's one of those games that I always like think about because of, there's a vast majority of like characters are really awesome. I really like the design in a lot of them, and I like the concept of Genshin, and it was one of those games that I kept up with until it got released. And I always do this thing where like I get hyped for games and I just get them and I don't end up playing them enough, I guess. But I need to delve deep into Genshin, and I think the reason why I stopped playing it is because I got a PS5 and I started playing it on PS4, and I lost my save file, and it just always demoralizes me when that happens. But yeah, I have started it on PS5. I actually got a better PC, and I actually started on PC even. But I need to level up, because I feel like once I do and I get more stuff going and I have people to actually play with, because you need to be a certain level to actually start playing with people, then I feel like could be a lot of fun. And it's just one of those games that I really do want to stream eventually. I did stream it when I first got into it, and it was a lot of fun, man. It was honestly a lot of fun. So I think I'm gonna like for sure need to dive into it, and hit me up. I'm down to hit it up on Genshin for sure. But moving on, we have Thomas, the tank engine, for coming through with some questions. The legend, the Fortnite king himself, Thomas, and he asks hashtag Thomas for 500. And I feel like I've seen this variation a lot, you know, somebody petitioning themselves for a mod for 500. And I guess you know, it means a lot to people, you know. Like I said earlier, I do make it a tradition where whenever we get another 100 subs, we add a new addition to the mod team on YouTube. And Thomas is one of the Discord mods, and he has been campaigning for it. But one of the requirements that I do require from a lot of people is that I don't, you know, obviously if you can't make it to streams, that's completely understandable. You know, you don't have to come through to every single one of my streams. But one of the things that I do ask is, you know, that you're able to show up at least, you know, when the time that I stream. And I know a lot of people have conflicting schedules, because some people are from different time zones, they're from different parts of the world, and I usually like to stream at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. PST most of the time on regular days. And some people have conflicting schedules when it comes to that, right? And that's honestly unfortunate, and I wish that, you know, some people who do want to be mod could be mod. But if I know that a certain person is not always going to be able to be there, then I'm less inclined to want to make the mod, because I would prefer for somebody to be there, to be able to be there, you know, even if it's not on like every stream, you know, because I don't want to be people to think that just because they're mod that they have to show up every single time, you know. That's why I have several mods, so that just in case that nobody else is there, that there's always at least one mod there, and myself, because like I said, my streams aren't crazy, they're not getting rated and stuff like that like all the time, so it's like pretty manageable. So it's not really something that is urgent to me. But that's why I was originally gonna stop doing the tradition of naming one mod per 100 subs at 1,000, but I just thought, you know what, that's a little bit too excessive. I'm just gonna stop at 500, since my streams aren't exactly the most crazy or wild, you know, that it needs to be that heavily monitored. And I'm always looking at my own chat, so it's not something that I can't do in the moment. But it's nice to have mods just in case that, you know, you're too into the game, you're not aware of everything that happens. A mod is there to like kind of like tone it down, you know. And the next question that he asks, Thomas, is would you ever plan on doing reaction videos or you laugh you lose styled videos? And yeah, and I've kind of been incorporating something like that into my streams, where I ask you guys to submit me videos in the Discord server so that I could react to them on stream. And you guys have been doing that, and I absolutely appreciate that so much. And moving forward, it's just something that I want to do here and there on streams, where I react to certain videos, not exactly on proper videos, I mean on streams, but it would be something cool to like have just in case, like for a little segment, maybe it'll get a funny clip here and there. But if I ever were to react to videos on the channel, it'd be probably something that I'm really interested in. Maybe like I have done it before, where I react to like a character reveal for Smash or whatever. And yeah, that's probably like where I'm gonna keep it at, or if I'm reacting to like a certain stream or whatever. But when it comes to you laugh you lose videos, yeah, I feel like that'd be really cool, and something that I could also do on stream. And a lot of these things I could honestly do on stream, so I'm honestly not really opposed to it. The only thing would be like having people actually submit memes, and we've tried it in the past, and sometimes, you know, some of these videos are like incredibly long, like 6 to 8 minutes or whatever, and you know, I don't want to watch that long length of a video on a stream or whatever. I don't want to take up too much time from people. And sometimes I get Rick rolls, which I said earlier, if you're still Rick rolling people in 2021, it's like, come on, bro, like one Rick roll is enough, you know. It's not really that funny. But yeah, it depends on the type of content, you know. I guess I would need to filter out, but what's the point if I already watched the video? So yeah, but thank you so much, Thomas, for the questions. Yeah, I will see who I'm honestly right now. I don't have a like an idea of who I really want to be a mod for 500. But yeah, and as far as it comes to like the reacting to videos, I'm not opposed to it. I'm definitely not. It's just something that I would need to consider more, and depending on the type of content that people ask me to react to. Next up, we have Nigel, the homie Nigel, and he asks, are you planning on closing the realm? And when, why, if not why? So he's referring to the Minecraft realm. And if you guys aren't too familiar with Minecraft, realms are basically where you could play on, like, say I make a world, right? And it's under a realm. And that means that I don't have to be online for people to come in to play, right? It just had to be under a realm, right? Whereas a normal world, I have to be online if I were the one to create it. So let's say that my friend wants to be in the world, I have to be online for them to play. But if it's under a realm, then anybody could join whenever they please. I don't have to be online as long as, you know, it's paid for. And I do pay for it because like I said, I was starting an SMP with the intention of it being really cool, the idea of nations and whatnot. But there has been a lot of instances where it just doesn't go according to plan. It just completely falls apart. And, you know, we have people here and there just doing things that I don't really appreciate. And I've tried it several times. And that's part of the reason also why I've been burnt out on Minecraft, unfortunately, because of instances that have occurred for the realm. And for now, at least, I don't plan on closing down the realm because I know a lot of people enjoy playing on it. But maybe in the future, if things don't get better, if things just continue happening like they are or like they have been in the past, then I will heavily consider maybe closing it down, because I don't want to be paying for something that is probably just bringing more negative than positive, right? And I don't really even care about the content. My initial thought was like, hey, maybe it'd be good for streams every once in a while to play it and to check, so keep people updated and just have like a series and with lore or whatever, factions, nations working together, all that good stuff. But maybe it was a little bit more than I initially thought it was gonna be. But yeah, for now, no, I'm not gonna close the realm. It's gonna keep opening. But the only reason why I would really even consider closing it is if things don't get better as time goes on, you know. But thank you for asking that, Nigel. And I think that's something that a lot of people actually have been wondering, like, what is Alex, what is 11 gonna do, what are his thoughts on the realm? And that's another reason, like I said, why I haven't continued the SMP. I only really streamed it once, and a few times that I have streamed Minecraft since then have been just me messing around, like trying to come up with challenges for people to do, trying out Bedrock Edition, because I did invest into that because I thought it'd be really cool to test out mods, which is still something that I am wanting to do. But it's just something that, like, you know, I wish it would have gone differently. But I mean, things could change, right? Things could definitely change, so we'll see. I'm hopeful for the future. The next couple questions come through from Allison herself, and she asks, who is your favorite character in Persona 5 Royale and why? And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I've had Persona 5 Royale for such a long time, and I actually haven't really like gotten that deep into it. I remember getting pretty, like, a little bit deeper into the original Persona 5, but in Persona 5 Royale so far I've only gotten to the second castle. But I think so far my favorite character, and I know this might be kind of like controversial or whatever, because I don't really know how many stands this character has or how many people actually like this character a lot, but so far my favorite character is Ryuji. Now down the line I'm gonna probably meet Futuba or Queen or something like that, but right now I think Ryuji is probably my favorite character. And the reason being is because I kind of feel like Ryuji is a little bit misunderstood. Yes, I know he's a little bit of a hothead, you know, he has like a really quick temper, and he's prone to get mad, and he just acts without thinking. But I think that I hope down the line he matures a little bit and he could be a total fucking badass. I already know that. And I have met Yusuke already, and so far I am liking the character. He's kind of a little bit smug, he's a little bit like chill or whatever, but right now I really like Ryuji just because, like, he's a punk, dude, and I kind of relate to that, right? He's a fucking punk. He has the blonde hair, he rebels. Whenever the whole Kamoshida arc was going down, he was like completely against them, and I really do respect that about him. And I think like I said earlier, he's a little bit misunderstood, but so far I really like Ryuji, but my opinion might change the deeper I go into the game. And Allison also has another question that's a little bit more deeper, and she asks, if you have anxiety, how do you deal with that? And I think personally it depends on what happens when you are going through the anxiety yourself, right? I can only really speak from my own personal experiences and tell you what I do, but I guess that's exactly what you want me to do. So the first step is probably one of the most important things, is recognizing and finally coming to terms with the fact that you have anxiety, right? When you acknowledge it and when you finally come to terms with it and you tell yourself and you're okay with the fact that you have it, it becomes a little bit more easy, because you get over that hurdle and you start to look for ways to combat it, right? For ways that you don't have to be freaking out in literally every situation, for ways to help calm you down. And once you, like I said, get over the hurdle, that barrier of not really like wanting to admit to yourself that you have anxiety, it becomes a lot more easy, and it allows you to just find solutions to your problem, right? Not to say that it's necessarily a problem, but maybe in instances where you don't want to be freaking out, you could find a way to quickly calm yourself down to get back into the groove of things, you know? Some of the things that I do, for example, are, I know this might sound really weird, but I have a habit of popping my shoulder, like just moving it around and circling it around, because it's just a coping mechanism, and it really does help. I don't really understand why, and I didn't do it on purpose. I just did it like without even thinking, and it's just one of those things that I just do naturally whenever I start to feel a little bit weird. And even my wife picked up on that. Like, she picked up on some of my little habits when I'm starting to feel a little bit weird. And another thing is I like to like internally burp. I don't know why that helps. It's just like really weird, simple coping mechanisms that like help me relax a little bit. But one of the biggest things that I recommend is just learning how to do breathing exercises. Go on the internet, look up breathing exercises to help you calm you down. And I know it might seem really like simple, and it might not seem like it might not work, but trust me, if you get into the rhythm of it, if you like legitimately learn some good breathing exercises, they legitimately help a lot. Like I was knocking them, and I was not even like considering doing that when I was freaking out. But trust me, they really, really do help, and it's a game changer. It really is a game changer. But if none of those things work, and you just, it's just really hard for you to get out of that anxiety state, and to the point where you're even having anxiety attacks, God forbid, then I would honestly recommend going to your doctor, talking to your doctor about it, see what he recommends you do. And if he prescribes you medication, then so be it. I am prescribed anxiety medication because in the beginning I'm the type of person that absolutely hates when my body starts feeling weird. Whenever I'm feeling like a certain way that I know that I'm not supposed to be feeling, then it just completely throws me off, and it starts making me feel like anxious. And when you add the anxiety on top of it, it honestly doesn't help at all. So I went to the doctor, and I told him how I started to feel, how I was feeling, how it makes me feel, and he prescribed me some anxiety medication. And honestly, there's honestly not really anything wrong with that. It's just I really do hate the stigma that if you are on medication to help you in any sort of way, then you're crazy, you're a lunatic. But in reality, no, it honestly does help a lot. It really, really does help a lot. In the beginning, I was heavily depending on it, right? Because I'm supposed to be taking it every 12 hours, and I was doing that, right? I was standing by that, and I was taking the proper amount of medication. But after a while, I kind of like, after I learned how to cope with it and just relax, because whenever I would start to feel weird just a bit, I would just take it, right? I would just take the medication because I didn't want to feel like that. But nowadays, I don't really want to rely too heavily on it, and I just, I do my breathing exercises. I try to write it out, and if certain time passes and it doesn't get any better, then yes, I will take the medication. But usually nowadays, I just try to not. I try my hardest, right? I'm literally waiting until like I almost freak out for me to actually take the medication, because I would rather. It's a different feeling when you're able to control it, right? You're able to like calm yourself down, you're able to write it out, and you're proud of yourself for that, right? Honestly, to myself, I don't really think about it too much, but now I do know that it does mean more to me when I'm able to stay strong, when I'm able to just write it out. And there's going to be certain situations where I don't have my medication, I forget, I go out and I just forget to bring it with me, and it's just I have to wait, I have to be patient, I have to stay strong, and I have to breathe. If I have to go outside, go outside, go take a breath of fresh air. If you're in the car, open up the window, however cold it might be, just open up the window, get some fresh air on your face, just breathe in that fresh air, and it really, really does make a difference. Separate yourself from, if you're in a large group of like people, just go ahead and like seclude yourself for a bit, take yourself away from that environment, and just relax, unwind quickly, and just take the breather that you need. Just take as much time as you need. Hopefully people understand that. And if you're younger and you're dealing with that, just pick up on those things, and hopefully it really does frustrate me that some parents still do not allow their kids to just go see a doctor and talk about these things, because it's normal, right? It happens, and especially for children, I completely understand, and for teenagers and stuff, I completely understand, especially right now during a fucking pandemic, and not everybody's doing good with the online schooling. Some people, like a lot of people, prefer to be in the actual classroom setting, and people are missing friends, and they're missing out on experiences. Some people don't even get to graduate properly. I remember my little sister, when she had to graduate, the pandemic was just like hitting strong, like the strongest, like in the middle of it, and she got her graduation taken away from her, and it's not the same to have it done online. It's really not. And people, it does affect them, so I'm not surprised that a lot of people are picking up on these anxieties, like symptoms of anxiety. But yes, I would recommend just try to find things that help you relax in general, and just try to do those things. Pick up on some breathing exercises. If you have to meditate, I recommend, one of the biggest things that I've learned and that I've done in recent times is waking up. Whenever I wake up, I stretch, right? If I have to go to the bathroom, I go to the bathroom, and then I stretch, and I just do my thing, because the body, sometimes you wake up and you're a little tense, and that could honestly ride out throughout the rest of your day, and you don't want that. You don't want to feel tense. And I'm sorry if I'm giving you like a whole lecture, but this whole anxiety thing, I could make a whole video on it, and it really, really does mean a lot. And if I could help just at least one person, then I would consider my advice good, because not every, but like I said, this is just based on my experience with it, and if it helps somebody else out, then awesome. That's all I would really ask for. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But thank you so much, Allison, for asking those amazing questions, and I'm gonna move on to the next person, which is Hyacinth. Somebody from the Discord server. I'm not really sure if they tune into the streams or whatever, but they are on the Discord server. They wanted to be part of it, and they ask, who is the most Smash characters you played with for Smash Bros. Ultimate and Melee? And I think they mean like, who are the characters that you play the most in Melee and Ultimate? Now I'll start with Melee, because that's the game that I've been playing the most. Just because I've been like wanting to really learn it, and it's just a game that is honestly really fun. It's honestly really hard to get into because of how technical it is, how many things you need to learn before you actually like try to even consider playing competitively, even online for that matter. But luckily, I noticed that a lot of people actually have been going on and trying to learn Melee, so it's been nice to play Melee online and not get completely decimated. I have run into some other people that do know how to play Melee to some extent, and I'm just still learning, so I get absolutely demolished and ran over. But I have run into the majority of people that I run into. You can tell that they're also learning the game. They're picking up on strategies and learning which character suits them, because while sometimes you could carry over your knowledge from Ultimate, some fundamentals do transfer over from some characters to other characters in Melee. Like for example, in Ultimate, I'm a Jigglypuff main, and some of the fundamentals in old Melee do transfer over, like back airs, neutral airs. Drill doesn't really work the same way, and it's just like the whole different mechanics that you need to learn how to take advantage of and use to your advantage. But yeah, in Melee, I've been using a lot of Jigglypuff, and surprisingly, I've been really vibing with Donkey Kong. I don't know what it is about Donkey Kong, but it just feels like kind of smooth for me. But in Melee and Ultimate, it's another completely different story. Whereas in Melee, I only really vibe with two characters right now. In Ultimate, I main Jigglypuff, I main Young Link, and I also have secondary mains like Byleth, Toon Link, even Captain Falcon. I really love using Ganondorf also. I've been kind of wanting to learn how to use Pyra and Mythra because they're just so fucking insanely overpowered. And I also have a pocket Joker like everybody else does in Ultimate. But yeah, I have a lot of characters. Oh, Lucas, I cannot forget Lucas and Roy. There's just a bunch of characters in Ultimate that I vibe with, and I really do like that about Ultimate. And I will say that even though I do have a lot of nostalgia for Melee, my preference honestly lies with Ultimate just because it's more accessible. And if I do want to learn a more intricate character, there is other characters like that, right? Like Ice Climbers and I'm like spacing out on the name, like Ice Climbers, Sheik, for example. Sheik is such an elegant, like pristine character that you really have to take the time to learn to excel with them. But yeah, Ice Climbers is like one of the most technical characters. It's just the untapped potential that not a lot of people have discovered. But yeah, there's a lot of characters that I still want to really learn in Ultimate. Whereas in Melee, I'm still learning how to even just move properly in Melee. Whereas in Ultimate, I feel like I said earlier, I think it's more accessible and it's faster to learn for a casual. That's why I really like Ultimate. It's just that I feel like anybody really could honestly get into it. But Hyzent also has another question, and they ask any favorite video game characters from games you played of each one. And like I said, I think they mean like if I have favorite video game characters from certain games. And yeah, I do. I'm a really big fan of villains for some reason. I'm a big fan of like really like awesome menacing villains. I really like Sephiroth. Obviously, I'm a big fanboy for Sephiroth. I like the way that he fucks with Cloud. And another one is Ganondorf. I really like Ganondorf throughout the Zelda series, and I know that there has been like several villains in the Zelda series, but Ganondorf has been obviously the reoccurring one that I'm a really big fan of. And just other characters in general, I'm a big fan of Luigi. I obviously like Mario too, but I'm a big sucker for the underdog. I really like Cloud Strife. There's just so many different characters that I like. I really like Ryuji, like I was mentioning earlier. I like a lot of fighting game characters, to be completely honest with you. I like a lot of fighting game characters like Ryu, Ken, Akuma. I like Terry Bogard. There Iori from King of Fighters. There's just a bunch of like fighting game characters that I'm a really big fan of. I've been trying to get into the Xenoblade Chronicles games because of the addition of Pyra and Mythra in it, and I don't really know too much about the characters, but honestly, like I said earlier, like I'm a big fan of the waifus, so yeah, I like them to some extent. But yeah, there's just too many characters to name. Thank you to anybody who took the time on the Discord server to actually ask questions. It really does mean a lot. And like I said it in the beginning of the podcast, I don't want to just make it about myself or just talk about my own experiences or stories. I want to like have you guys get involved, and hopefully I could actually get more guests down the line to actually interview them and get to know them a little bit better and highlight them as we go along, because I don't really want to make this podcast just about myself. I know some people do that. But I usually prefer when people have a co-host, or when people are highlighting other people and they have reoccurring guests. And every once in a while I will pop in and just talk about myself and just like update you guys on what I have going on. But I guess I could update you guys right now too, so just to end the podcast on a note of myself. Recently I've been going back to the classroom setting for my job, and honestly I'm a little bit nervous because of this whole COVID thing. And I want to say that if you are currently in school, like actual physical school, I hope that you guys are, your school is taking the proper precautions to keep you guys safe, so that you guys don't have that anxiousness of like, am I gonna get this COVID shit? Am I gonna like be affected by it? I have a lot of things and opinions to say about what the fuck is going on with the school system and whatnot, but I'm gonna refrain from staying unprofessional, because I mean, I work in the school setting, and I wouldn't want to turn anybody off from it, but I'm just very passionate about it, considering the fact, especially right now during this whole pandemic, I have a lot of opinions and things I want to talk about, but I'm gonna refrain. Like I said, all I do want to say is that, like I said, that I hope that your schools and the environment that you're in is taking the proper precautions and that you feel safe. And I know that there's always that lingering like cloud of like wondering if it's gonna affect you or not, but I really do hope that you guys are staying safe. Always wear your mask. I always will preach that for as long as time. And to be completely honest with you, even after this fucking pandemic is over, I'm gonna be fucking wearing a mask. You know, if this pandemic is over and it's safe to not wear a mask anymore, I'm still gonna wear a fucking mask. And you know why? Because I take inspirations from countries like Japan, China, wherever they wear masks just casually before this whole pandemic fucking started. And I'm already like I already incorporate it as part of my fucking outfit, you know. In the beginning, yes, I didn't really care which mask I would wear, but now I'm like looking online for like masks to match my outfits and shit. So like, yes, I've invested money into this, so I'm gonna continue wearing them and have them be part of my outfit. And I just like it. I like the sense of privacy that it gives you, sort of, that I could talk under that I could talk under my breath and just like talk shit, you know, without anybody really noticing, that I could just smile with my eyes, without having to like give an actual smile or whatever. But it's just one of those things where I already got super used to it, right? And while it does feel satisfying when you're like going to the store and you get back in your car just to take it off, or you're going home and you get home and you take off the mask and it feels satisfying, like that's fine and everything. But going out into the world, I just want to be a little bit more careful and just considerate of others. So I think I'm gonna like continue wearing the mask even after, because like I said, I think it's a fucking sick part to the outfit, man. I like the vibe of the mask, so I think I'm for sure gonna keep on wearing it. But yeah, and another thing that I do want to say, I guess, is just that now that I'm kind of hoping that my schedule does get a little bit chilled out, I really do hope that I'm able to, you know, stream more often, because last week I didn't really do a whole lot. I just streamed like once or twice, and I think maybe just once, to be completely honest with you, and it was just something where I don't like to do that. I like to just stream and keep to my schedule. But I understand now that if I do have to take a time off or just like rest up after a completely busy day, then I will do that. You know, I will do that. And I haven't been really sticking to my schedule, and I'm considering like what my schedule should even be, and if I even should have a schedule, right? I understand that some people like the consistency and to know that, hey, you're going to be streaming on a certain day, but I'm like debating whether it's safe to just not have a schedule and just come in for sure certain times a week, like once or like for sure twice, 3 times a week, like I normally been doing, like twice throughout in the weekdays, and once on the weekends, you know. And that's something that I've been considering, because I hate postponing streams, and I just don't really like it. And I think moving forward, what I think I'm gonna do is just analyze my week, analyze what I have going on that week, and just base my schedule around that, right? Because for example, like if I say Tuesday and Thursdays, right? What if I have something going on Tuesday, and what if I'm really, really busy on Thursday and I just could not make it to the stream, right? And I have to postpone twice, right? And instead of doing that, I think I'm just gonna analyze what I have going on, plan it out properly so that I could make a schedule for the week, right? Instead of making a schedule, indefinite schedule, because sometimes it just can't happen, right? Sometimes it just can't happen. I have a very like mixed bag of like things that I have to get done every single day, that I don't really know sometimes what it's going to happen. You know, sometimes I have this going on, sometimes I'm done with work and I'm incredibly tired. I just do not have the energy to go on stream, force myself to play a video game, when in reality I just want to be in bed and just hang out on my phone and watch YouTube all fucking for the rest of the night. But yeah, I think moving forward I'm gonna do that. I know that not everybody watches till the end of the podcast, and if you do, I fucking love you. You're legitimately the best. Just if you do watch to the end, go on Discord, tag me and say and just tell me, just tag me and say 11, you're dumb as fuck. Like, if you made it this far, just go on Discord and tag me and say 11, you're dumb as fuck, and I will know. We will know. No context needed. We will know. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna leave it there. Like I said, next time I hopefully will have a guest on the podcast, and I will try my best to get out of my bubble and just reach out to those who I have made some interactions with throughout these last couple of months, and just talk to them, get to know them a little bit better, highlight them, and give them the spotlight. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you guys got the answers that you wanted from me. And next time, if we do, there will be for sure other chances for you to ask questions. But if you do tune into the streams, please do not feel afraid to ask me questions. I'm an open book, like I said earlier, and I do not have a problem with answering questions on stream. It keeps the conversation going, and honestly just opens up different topics for conversation, and I really, really, really do appreciate it, because sometimes I hate dead air. Sometimes I'm on the spot and I have to think of something to talk about, even if it might not interest a lot of people, but it might start another conversation. So that's something that I really do appreciate. But like I said, please stay safe, please wear a mask, love yourselves. You guys are completely fucking worth it. You guys deserve the absolute fucking world. You guys are amazing. I'm extremely proud of every single one of you. Take care. Peace. Bye.